Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Loose Thoughts podcast, the podcast where I talk about my emotions and my feelings, and it's a free therapy session. Ha ha ha. Just kidding. Welcome back to the podcast, guys. It has been brought to my attention actually a little while ago when I had Alex and Sid on the podcast. Alex mentioned, he was like, have you ever introduced yourself on the podcast? And then it got me thinking, and I go back to the first episode. I literally don't introduce myself. At least I don't think I do. Low-key, I didn't re-listen to the first episode, but I don't think I did. So, welcome to the Loose Thoughts podcast. I'm your host, Zion, and this is the podcast where I ramble about anything and quite literally everything. Every single thought that comes into my mind is put out on the podcast because there's no filter, because I hardly edit this podcast, and it's very apparent when you listen to the other episodes. But this is the 10th episode. We have been doing the podcast. I say we, like I have other people here. It's just me in my, what do you want to call this? I think it's supposed to be a dining room in my apartment. But I've made it into my little, I don't want to say studio or office. I guess it's like an office. It's like my computer and my desk. I have a dining room table in here that I don't really use. I just kind of throw stuff on it. But anyways, that's besides the point. Can you believe we've made it to 10 episodes? Because low-key, I can't. I kind of thought that I would make a couple episodes and then drop it. But low-key, recording podcast episodes is really fun. Just sitting here talking to myself in front of my computer. I'm having a very grand time. And I thought about doing something special. I don't know, just because 10 episodes, that's a milestone, right? But then I was like, what am I going to do on an audio only podcast? It's not where I'm recording video and I could I don't know, do an unboxing an unboxing of something, kind of how I did the opening of the Pokemon cards a few episodes ago. But yeah, I don't know what else I could do. Read out personality quizzes or something. What anime character are you? I just read my answers on the podcast. That sounds a little bit silly, so I don't want to do that. So for this episode, it's just going to be me and you sitting down and talking. And I have some things that I wanted to talk about, as I do every episode, because this is a podcast where I talk about my feelings and emotions. I'm kidding. But yeah, so let's jump right into it. So last week, it was my birthday. And for those that don't know, I am the ripe old age of 25, the big 25, and my frontal, frontal lobe, my I was a psych major, but I'm stuttering over my words, I'm sorry. My prefrontal cortex is now fully developed. Is that what it's called? I feel like that's not right. As I literally just said, I was a psych major. No, it is called the prefrontal cortex. Typically not reaching full maturity until the age of 25. I'm 25. That means my prefrontal cortex, that's a mouthful. Jesus Christ. I'm just going to say my frontal lobe. It is fully developed. So that means I can no longer make mistakes in life, and my critical thinking skills will now be at an all-time high. Granted, I think I'm a special one. My critical thinking skills were already maxed out. Think of this. Think of my character sheet and my stats. My critical thinking stat is the highest stat because I'm a genius. I am a psych major and I'm the one that is analyzing the other people. But now my thoughts will be even more clearer. So I hope that comes through on the podcast. I don't think so, because I feel like I'm already going crazy right now, stumbling over my words and stuff. but that's just me. Maybe my cortex isn't developed. But yeah, so my birthday was on Monday last week, July 14th. Mark your calendars for next year. Maybe I'll do a birthday episode next year. You think we'll still be making podcast episodes next year? That's kind of sad to think about, but let's hope so. We'll probably be on like season 5. We're in season 1 right now. If we're in season 1, how many episodes are going to be in a season? Should I do it like an anime? 12 episodes per season? That means we're almost done with season 1, guys. If I go through with that idea. But who knows? I don't be going through with a lot of things these days. Anyways, my birthday was on Monday. Honestly, I didn't really do anything too special because it was a weekday and I had to go to work. And I have to show up for the kids every day. Shout out to the kids. No, I'm joking. Fuck them kids. No, I'm joking. So, and I don't think I really did anything after work on Monday. It was cute though, because a lot of the teachers and students said happy birthday, like in class and like through the halls. The students would be like, happy birthday, Zion. And I was like, aw, love y'all. And then after work, I just got some ice cream and some cookies for like a little sweet treat after dinner. But the real celebration was this past weekend when I went to Tokyo and I hit up the muscle bars. Hey! No, I'm joking. I didn't go to the muscle bars, but no, yeah, I did go to Tokyo and I was there for the weekend and I just came back Monday evening. It is currently Wednesday and I came back Monday because Monday was a holiday. It was like Marine Day in Japan or whatever. And so, yeah, I had a really good time in Tokyo. It was really filled with like such spontaneous activities. Like I didn't really have a plan of what I wanted to do going into the weekend. The only thing that I had planned was meeting a friend Friday night in Yokohama, which he used to live in Osaka. And so I went to Osaka to hang out with him like 2 years ago almost. And then I met him last summer in Tokyo. And so it's been almost a year since we've met again. And so I was like, hey, I'm going to Tokyo for my birthday. Want to meet up? Because he lives around Yokohama now. And he was like, yeah, of course. And so we got dinner. And it was really nice to see him again. He's a really funny guy. His English has gotten so much better, which I was like, wow, what the heck? You're a genius. Because I feel like the first time we met, he didn't speak a whole lot of English. And now we were like having full conversations in English. And I was like, bro, you're a genius. If you're listening to this, you are a genius, my guy. Keep up the great work. Keep doing whatever you're doing. I think he's taking, I should probably message him. He said he's taking TOEIC this week, which is just like an English exam. He didn't say when he was taking it, but I should be like, I'm cheering for you. Good luck. Ganbare. Oenshiteru yo. Anyways, so yeah, and I got to Tokyo on Friday at like, what time did I arrive? Like 3, and then I met him at like 6. I arrived, the Shinkansen, the bullet train arrived in Tokyo like 3:30. Then I had to commute to my hotel, and I had to shower because, oh my God, it's so hot in Japan right now, guys. It's so freaking hot. Like today, it was so humid. I'll talk about Japan summer later, but like Japan summer makes me want to do things to myself that I shouldn't mention on the podcast because I don't want to get demonetized. I was gonna say demonetized. I'm not monetized. But you know, like if you talk like too explicitly, like if you have an explicit tweet on Twitter, they'll like get you and they'll be like, you can't tweet this. That'll happen, but on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and they'll take my podcast down. And I don't want that to happen because I know you guys enjoy listening to my podcast, and I don't want you to be left without the Loose Thoughts podcast. You know what I mean? So anyways, Friday, I meet him for dinner. We have a good time. He shows me a little bit around. No, he doesn't really show me around Yokohama. We just walk around the station and we go to this izakaya. And then after, we go to Lush and he buys me a birthday gift. And I was like, oh my gosh, thanks. He got me like a Kuromi, a bath bomb, and like this Sanrio themed body wash. We smelled it and we were like, oh my gosh, it smells like bananas. And then the Lush attendant was like, bananas aren't in it. And I was like, what the hell? It smells like bananas. Anyway, so yeah, that was fun. And that was a fun little night. And then afterwards, I went back to my hotel and I called it a night because your boy was tired. And then on Saturday, so if you are a real listener of the Loose Thoughts podcast, you'll remember in my Japan episode, I talked about a little app called Hello Talk, which is like a language exchange app, and I used it to make friends. And so when I was coming to Tokyo this weekend, I hopped back on the app and I made a post and I was like, hey, yo, I'm pulling up to Tokyo. Who's trying to link? I didn't say it exactly like that, but that's basically what I said. And I was like, who wants to meet up? And so this one guy, he messaged me actually, and he was like, hey, what's up? Like, let's meet. And I was like, okay, bet. And so we met up in Akihabara. What? Oh my gosh. I literally just said my brain was fully developed. No, it's not. Akihabara. Akihabara. We met up there, and then we just like walked around, did some shopping. I looked in some card shops because you guys know I'm in my Pokemon card era. And so I was like, oh my gosh, the Tokyo card shops are probably going to have such cool cards. Spoiler alert, no, they didn't. And I was low-key kind of upset. They just have the normal cards I see in every single card shop. What the hell? And then we went to a sushi restaurant, Hamazushi. It's just like no, it's not rotary sushi because you order on the tablet and then it comes to your table, which is a little different from rotary sushi. But yeah, and then what else did we do? We went to an arcade. We tried some crane games, which crane games are scams. But it was really fun. I enjoyed hanging out with him. Only thing is that, oh my gosh, he was so young. I found out he was 19. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're 19? What the hell? I just turned 25. My frontal cortex, what is it? Frontal cortex is fully developed and you're not even old enough to drink. And I was like, that's crazy. But we still had a good time. It was goofy. He's like a little brother, like a cousin or whatever. So it was fun. And then what else did I do Saturday? Oh, another friend, which I didn't even know he was going to be in Tokyo. He just like, I posted a picture on my Instagram story of something I saw in Akiba. And I was like, and then he slid up and he was like, oh my gosh, are you in Tokyo? Like, I'm on my way to Tokyo right now. And I was like, what the fuck? Excuse my language. But I was like, what a coincidence. And he was like, you want to meet up? I'm so hungry. Let's meet up for dinner. And I was like, okay, bet. And so my hotel was in Ikebukuro. And at first he wanted to meet up in Harajuku or in Shinjuku. But I was getting ready to go back to my hotel because I was so tired from walking around. Because I had been up, not early, but I had been up and like doing stuff in Tokyo, walking around. I met up with the other guy. And so I was tired and I wanted to go back to my hotel and rest for a little bit until he got there. And also, I really had to poop. I had to poop so bad. I'm not even going to lie. But he was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be arriving. I think he was going to Shinagawa Station. He was like, I'm going to be there in like 20 minutes. And me knowing it takes me like 30 minutes to get from Akiba back to where my hotel is. Because my hotel, Ikebukuro, is kind of like a little bit away from central Tokyo. Ikebukuro is still part of like central Tokyo, but it's like away from everything else. Or maybe it's Akiba, because I don't think, how far is Ikebukuro from Shinjuku? I think it's like 3 stations away, so that's not far. Whatever. But it took me 30 minutes to get back to my hotel, and I was like, ooh, like I'm not gonna have any time to rest until he gets there, which is what I wanted. So I was just like, hey, I don't want to meet in Harajuku anymore. Like, can we meet in Ikebukuro? And he was like, yeah, that's fine. And I was like, God bless. And so I went back to my hotel. I pooped. I rested for like 10, 15 minutes. And then he was like, okay, I'll be coming to the station in like 10 minutes. And I was like, okay, bet. And I walked back to the station. And then we met and we got ramen. And then what else did we do? We went to this cafe. And then we walked around. And then I think he went back to... No, what else did we do? Was it just ramen in the cafe? I think so. Oh, no. We walked to a card shop. Why am I just taking everyone to card shops? And we went to a card shop. I think we went to two, actually. And we looked around. Nothing special. Didn't buy anything. And then we went to Don Quixote, which is just like this really big store that everyone's like, oh my gosh, when you come to Japan, come to Donkey. I honestly don't think it's that special. Like, when I first came to Japan and I went to Donkey for the first time, it was actually a little overstimulating because everything is crammed into such a small space, because Japan buildings are tiny, because they cram so many buildings on the streets that they have to be small. And so everything is like jam-packed and there's so much in your face, and they're constantly blasting the theme song on the speakers. If you ever go to a Donkey, the only thing you will hear is Don 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 Donkey Donkey Hotel. And like, if you're in there for a long time, that song will be like embedded into your brain wrinkles, and you'll never forget it. But it's also so infuriating. You'll hear it in your nightmares. And so we walked around for a little bit, and then he went back to, because he was staying at a friend's house, and that friend is like an hour away via trains. And so he went back to meet him, and I went, because it was still a little early. It was probably like 9 o'clock. And like, I'm in Tokyo for my birthday. I don't want to go to sleep at 9 o'clock. And so I ended up going to this PC cafe, and I played Marvel Rivals for like an hour and a half. And then I went to, my hotel had a public bath, like an onsen. And so then I went to the onsen, and I went back to my room, and then I went to sleep. And then Sunday was the really spontaneous day. I can't talk about what I did on Sunday because I want to keep this podcast PG 13, because I say a few swear words a little bit here and there, but I want to keep it PG. And so I cannot go into detail about what happened on Sunday. But let's just say the Tokyo heat had me in heat. Ew, that sounds so nasty. Why did I say it like that? But that's all I'll say. I did go to this pizza restaurant that I saw on TikTok, and that pizza looked really good, and I'm glad I went because it was good. It's called Spontini. Then I also went to this cookie shop that I saw on TikTok also. It's called Pug, P-U-G. I don't know how to say it. Pug, P-U-G. But that was in... The pizza place was in Shinjuku, and cookie place was in a town called Kichijoji. Kichijoji? I think it's Kichijoji. Let me Google it really quick. Kichijoji. Yes. Oh no, it is Kichijoji. What the fuck? Bro, I was telling my coworkers Kichijoji. They probably think I'm stupid. Damn, that's crazy. What else do I have in my notes? Oh my gosh. Shinjuku Station. Fuck Shinjuku Station. So the friend that I had met spontaneously Saturday night that had came to Tokyo, we were like, okay, let's meet Sunday because he was free. He was in Tokyo for like some seminar or whatever, but the seminar was only like for an hour, like 10 to 11. And so we were gonna meet in Shinjuku and get like lunch and do whatever else. And so we're like, okay. And so the time comes to meet, and I'm like, okay, where should we meet? And he's like, let's meet, or I'm like, let's meet in Shinjuku, but let's not meet in Shinjuku Station, because if you know anything about the Tokyo train stations, they're super confusing. And I've gotten lost in Shinjuku Station before. And so I was like, let's not meet in Shinjuku Station. Let's meet somewhere outside the station, because I'm not trying to get lost on a hot Tokyo summer day. And we're like, okay, bet. So I arrive in Shinjuku Station, and I'm like, I message him. I'm like, hey, where you at? And he's like, I'm at the, what did he say? He said, I'm at the East Gate. And I was like, okay, like, I'll go to the East Gate, knowing I said let's not meet in Shinjuku Station. But I was like, okay, I'll go meet you at the East Gate or whatever. I start walking towards the East Gate, and he's like, wait, no, I mean the West. And in that moment, I was already like, fuck. I was like, God damn it. And I texted, I was like, I already started walking to the East Gate. And then I was like, you know what, whatever, I'll just go to the West Gate. And so I literally turn around, I walk in a circle, I go to the West Gate. I get to the West Gate. I'm like, where you at? He calls me on Instagram, but I couldn't hear him because he had like these wireless earbuds in, and the microphone on them was ass. And plus, we're in the loud station. There's so many people and the loud trains. I couldn't hear anything he was saying. And I was like, oh my gosh. And at that point, I was already getting a little bit frustrated because it was hot. It was crowded. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I said not to meet in Shinjuku Station. Like, this is what I wanted to avoid. Which, in hindsight, like, thinking about it now, I should have just said, let's meet at the restaurant. Because the restaurant was near the station anyway. It was like a 5-minute walk. And so I should have just said, let's meet at the restaurant. But that didn't happen yet. And so on the phone, he's like, let's meet at Yodobayashi, which is just like an it's an electronics store. And I was like, okay. And so I Google Yodobayashi, like the one nearby. And I go to that one that was by like the west exit, because like that's the one he said he was at. And so I walk outside and I see the Yodobayashi, and I'm like, oh, that must be the one he's talking about. And so I get to Yodobayashi, and as I get to Yodobayashi, he sends me a picture, and I'm like, oh, this Yodobayashi looks a little different from the one I'm at right now. But maybe I'm on the wrong side. And so I literally walk around the whole perimeter of this store, and I don't see him. And I go inside, and I don't see him. And he calls me again. He's like, where are you? I'm like, where are you? I'm at Yodobayashi. And he's like, I'm at Yodobayashi. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And so I like turn my camera on, and I'm like showing him the Yodobayashi that I'm at. And he's like, oh, maybe you're at the wrong one. There's two. And I was like, what are you talking about? There's only one. And so I like Google Yodobayashi on Google Maps again. And I like zoom out to encompass like the entire, like the entire perimeter of the station, and not just like where I was at. Because Shinjuku Station is big. And do you want to know what I saw? I saw that there was, in fact, another Yodobayashi on the opposite side of the station. And do you want to know what side that Yodobayashi was on? It was on the east side. Do you know where he told me to go initially? He said go to east first, and then he said, no, wait, the west. And so I went to the west side. He was on the east side this whole time. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was literally going crazy. Standing out in the hot sun, I was about to blow a gasket. And I was just like, oh my gosh, my rice cooker's done. Yay, I'm hungry. Anyways, in that moment, I was like, I'm hot, I'm hungry. Like, let's just meet at the restaurant. And he was like, okay. And so I sent him the restaurant address, and then I walked to the restaurant. And then I sit down in front of the restaurant and I wait for like 10 minutes. And then he shows up. And I was like, oh my gosh, what was that? I was ready to... Oh, never mind. I wasn't ready to do anything. Because like I said, this podcast is rated PG. So anyway, moral of the story, I hate Shinjuku Station with a burning passion. And I think I've literally had this same exact thought before the last time I got lost in Shinjuku Station, because it's so confusing. And like a lot of the big stations in Tokyo, I've gotten lost in Tokyo Station before. I don't think I got lost in Shibuya Station, but I got lost in Shinjuku Station twice. But a lot of the big stations are also connected to like underground malls and like shopping centers. And so you'll like leave the platform, you'll get off the train and you'll be on the platform, and you'll leave the platform. You'll like follow the signs. It's like this way for exit, whatever. And also they might have like 12 different exits numbered. And so it'll be like exit 1 through 6, turn left, exit 6 or exit 7 through 12, turn right. And so it's like, fuck. And so you're like following the signs. And then this happened to me when I was in Ikebukuro Station. I wanted to find exit 14. And so the sign was like exits 1 through 20 this way. And so I'm following that sign. And then the numbers just like stop. Or low-key, I don't even think the numbers existed in the first place, because I was following the signs. And then it's a new set of signs. And it's like west exit, east exit. And I was like, enough with the east and west, bro. Like, you're pissing me off now. And I was like, where's exit 14? Because, like, that's, like, what Google Maps will say. Like, say if you put in... Like, I had in directions to my hotel. And it was like, once you get off the train, exit Ikebukuro Station at exit 14. And I was like, okay, bet. Where's exit 14? Nowhere to be found. And, yeah. I didn't get lost in Ikebukuro Station. I just, like, literally, at that point, I was like, I'm going to take the nearest exit and then maneuver my way outside where I can actually get my bearings together. So yeah, moral of the story is, if you're in Tokyo, be prepared to get lost in a station, because it's bound to happen. And in the summer, it's so bad because in the underground stations, it's so hot, like literally so hot. And it's so humid. You think it would be cooler underground because you're underground. But no, low-key, sometimes it's even hotter in the stations than it is outside. Because outside, like, maybe there'll be like a breeze, like a nice breeze to cool you down. And then underground, there's nothing. It's just a stale, stinky heat. Because in some of those stations, they smell because people are sweaty and musty. And... yeah, that's just another reason why Japanese summer is hell. Japanese summer is literally hell. Like, it's gotten to the point where in my apartment, it literally gets so hot. And so I don't sleep with my AC on because I'm not trying to run up the light bill. I have to pay bills. If I was at home in America, maybe I would, because I don't got to pay bills. No, I'm joking. But I'm not sleeping with my air conditioning on. So I'll like wake up, and it's even like, it's literally, because I wake up at like 6, 7 a.m. It's stifling hot in my apartment. And like that already puts me in a bad mood, because why is it 90 degrees at 7 a.m.? Like, that's not fucking right. That shouldn't be a thing. Why is the sun barely out and it's 90 degrees? And then even at nighttime, like, you go to sleep hot. Like, you wake up hot, you go to sleep hot, and it just makes me so mad. And you step outside for like 5 minutes and sweat is literally already dripping down your ass crack. I was on a train in Tokyo and I sat down, and it was like the shiny line like on my knee running down, and I was like, what the hell? Is that sweat? That's so nasty. Like, what the hell? Like, I can't do anything because I'm sweaty, and like, it makes me not want to go out because I don't like going out and meeting people when I'm sweaty. Because what the hell? I feel nasty. And like, you come back and shower, And like you just end up getting sweaty again. It's crazy. And then on top of that, it's R word season. If you know what an R word is, it's a roach. I hate roaches. And luckily, so far, I've only seen, jinx, knock on wood, I've only seen one in my apartment. And like, so it went all winter. I don't see them in winter because they don't come out in winter, thank God. And the first one I saw, it was a while ago. But that's been the only one that I've seen this year. And I hope it stays that way. I really hope it does. Because like as soon as I saw that one, I like got like these little, I don't think they're traps. They're like little like poison things. And I put them around my apartment. And I haven't seen any since. And I'm praying to God I'm not jinxing myself. Because I hate those fuckers with a burning passion. With every fiber of my soul. I hate them. And they make me uneasy. They make me anxious. Sorry, I was looking around like to see if I spot one. They make me uneasy. They make me anxious. They make me paranoid. They frighten me. They really do. And I hate them. And when it gets hot, because Japan is so humid, there's so much moisture, they come out. They come out and they're ready to play. And I'm like, play anywhere except here. The fuck? Stay away from me. But I'm really worried because in August, I'm going back to America for like the whole month. Not the whole, kind of the whole month. August 9th to the 29th. And I'm really afraid of leaving my apartment alone. And I'm just worried that I'm going to come back to an infestation. I don't know how likely that is, but I'm really worried. And so before I leave, I was like, I'm going to have to set down like sticky traps or whatever. Oh, I don't know. I'm just praying. But yeah, it's summer vacation. Oh, I'm going to America for summer vacation. So that should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Getting to see all my besties again. And just not being in the Japan summer heat, because I've done it these past 2 years and I can't do it anymore. Like, it's disgusting. Granted, I think it's still been hot in America these days. But I feel like, which low-key, I was going to say I can't remember what it was like in the summer. Like, I remember it being hot, obviously. But, like, I feel like the Japanese summer has just taken over my brain. And that's all I know. Because it's so bad. And I already hate summer. And Japan summer makes me hate summer even more. So, every day, I'm yearning for winter. Because I miss winter so much. I miss wearing my sweaters and cardigans to work. Now I'm wearing t-shirts, sweating my ass off. I don't wear t-shirts to work. I wear like the button-up polos. And I'm still sweating. And I'm worried about sweat stains on my shirts because it happens. You sweat and you get sweat stains. It happens. I sweat a lot. I'm sorry. I don't know what you want from me. Who am I talking to? Where am I going with that? But yeah. I think that's enough to wrap up today's episode. There's not much else that I wanted to talk about. Oh, my phone just vibrated. Hey, y'all. Messaging me while I'm working on the podcast. Anyways, let's wrap things up. I appreciate you for making it this far, listening to the end. It was a nice little shorter episode because these recent episodes that I've been putting out have been long episodes. So I decided to give you a little short one just to, I don't know. That's how you know it's time to end the podcast, when I run out of things to say. Thanks so much for listening. Happy 10th episode of the Loose Thoughts podcast. I really appreciate all you listeners, all you beautiful listeners. Thank you so much. We wouldn't have made it this far without you. Without you tuning into this podcast every other week, essentially. I was going to say every week, but it hasn't been every week because I don't have a schedule. I need to stop mentioning this. I feel like I mention the podcast schedule every episode. Anyways, I should also learn to stop saying anyways. I don't think I said as often in this episode, did I? Let me know. And I will catch you guys next time. Love you. Bye-bye.